You ready to let the dogs out?
What?
Do what?
From the All Indiana Podcast Network.
Join Pet Pals TV's Patty Spitler as we celebrate our furry friends.
Cats, dogs, and all the critters in your family.
Celebrate the bond between pets and people and meet Hoosier heroes saving four-legged lives.
I love it. Good. I'm glad.
It's the Positively Patty podcast.
I can't wait anymore. Me neither.
Now, your host, here's Wish TV contributor Patty Spitler.
From Wish TV, I'm Pet Pals TV host Patty Spitler, and this is Positively Patty Podcast on the All Indiana Podcast Network, of course. And on this episode, we're talking with Darcie Kurtz. Darcie is the founder, CEO of FIDO, that's Friends of Indianapolis Dogs Outside. So, what is their mission? How do they accomplish it? What are they up against sometimes? And how do they keep it, again, positive? So you'll hear from Darcie Kurtz and FIDO, and maybe you'd like to help too. And welcome to the Positively Patty Podcast. We have another fabulous show for you today. And I'm so proud, and it's my honor to introduce my friend. This is Darcie Kurtz. Darcie is the CEO, the founder, and certainly does everything for FIDO, which is Friends of Indianapolis Dogs Outside. Darcie, welcome to the program.
Hi, Patty. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Now, FIDO, you told me this just the other day. 15 years you've been around?
Yep.
That's a long time.
This year was our 15-year milestone.
Wow. What is your mission with FIDO? And tell me what FIDO stands for those people who may not know.
Sure. FIDO stands for Friends of Indianapolis Dogs Outside.
Okay.
And our mission is to improve the quality of life of outside dogs. And we work in typically struggling neighborhoods across Indianapolis. Mm-hmm. And our focus really is finding and helping dogs living often isolated lives on the end of a chain. We help people transition their dogs inside the house to be part of the family. Mm-hmm. We also build large, secure, fenced enclosures to free these dogs from life on a chain. We do require spay-neuter, and we assist with that for all the dogs that we help through our various programs. So we help typically around 500 families each month.
What? 500 families a month?
And that's across all of our various programs.
Well, we're now getting ready for winter, so I would imagine this is probably your most challenging time.
Yes. This is when we really need to be out in the neighborhoods when the weather becomes either extremely hot or extremely cold, but especially, in the colder weather, it becomes life-threatening.
Okay. How do you select someone to go and help? Do you go and knock on their door? Do you have a neighbor call you? You mentioned you drive through neighborhoods. And you can always, you can spot a dog that's in distress or, as you said, on the end of a chain. So how do you approach these people? How do you find them?
Sure. And it's pretty much all of the above. So we have a proactive program where we know the areas where most of these dogs are living outside. So we get in our vehicles, we drive down streets and alleys, look for dogs outside, especially if we see them chained or in a tiny pen. Mm-hmm. And we drive around to the front of the house in a very direct, positive, upfront manner. And just say we saw you at a dog, we're here to help. We want to let you know about what the legal requirements are. We're here to help. And I would say most of the time people are at least willing to listen to us.
Good.
And, a good part of the time we can begin helping right there in the moment.
Right. And you mentioned the legal aspect. Isn't there you're supposed to bring your dog in between 11 or have it in a shelter somewhere.
Right.
Between 11 at night.
Right. Anytime, regardless of the weather, day or night, right, dogs always have to have continuous access to shelter, which could be a solid weatherproof doghouse and continuous access to fresh drinkable water. Then if dogs are tethered, they cannot be tethered overnight between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m., and they cannot be tethered unless there's a responsible person outside with the dog if they are unaltered. Mm-hmm. And that's during the day even.
Yeah.
And then there's the extreme weather that kicks in. So during winter months, if the temperature falls below 40 degrees, dogs need to have additional protections for shelter. So there needs to be insulating straw bedding in their shelter so that they can get in there and burrow. And stay
straw,
warm.
not hay, because hay keeps the moisture. I know this for feral kitties as well. Hay does not hold the moisture. Go ahead.
Hay is to feed horses. Straw is for bedding. Yes.
I like that. I have to remember that.
And then also there needs to be a cover over the opening. So you think about it. It would be like your house with the door open in the middle of winter. So there has to be a flexible flap over the opening.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that holds the body heat of the dog inside the doghouse between the straw and the flexible covering.
Right.
And then if the temperature becomes even more extreme, if it falls below 20 degrees, that's when dogs need to be brought inside some temperature-controlled building. Ideally, that would be with their families in the house, but it could be a temperature-controlled garage. It could be a basement. But 20 degrees is when the temperature becomes life-threatening.
Also, I always say, know your breed. Know what, if it's a husky, or I have a snow dog, and he loves the snow. He loves to go out in it and burrow in it. And then I have a little rescue Mabel that doesn't like the snow at all. So you can pretty much tell a pitty is going to be different in the snow than a Malamute. So use your sense up here too.
Exactly. And you think about that in reverse in the hot summer months of summer. That's when the huskies and the chow chows and the Malamute don't really want to be outside.
Oh, he does not like the bright sun on that dark coat, my Bernese. All right. Well, I want to ask you, how has this affected your life? What you do is not easy, and I know you're putting a positive spin on this, but this is a lot to handle, especially when you find that you can't help or they don't want to help.
Well, and I will tell you, it has made all the difference in the world being able to partner with Indianapolis Animal Care Services.
Good.
So they are the legal enforcement agency for animal ordinance and law violations. So even though I said most of the time people are receptive to help, there's a percentage of people that feel like, a dog belongs outside on a chain.
It's just a dog, yeah.
Right. So there's some of that. But having these ordinances in place and being able to partner so closely with the animal care services officers, that ensures that these dogs get help one way or the other. And we always try to start with the positive, we're here to help approach. But, for those dogs that need help through law enforcement, it's there for them.
It's there for Indiana. And Darcie Kurtz, again, is with us right here on the podcast today. And I wanted you to mention this at the end, but also now, I've been to your website, and some of the videos that you have, the dogs, when they see you again and they're behind a fence that you folks put up, they want to come and say thank you.
Yeah.
Some of your videos are, you start to cry a little bit because the dogs are saying thank you for helping me.
And even beyond that, what we've noticed is sometimes when we get there and dogs are tethered, it sets up sort of a fight or flight response in dogs. They can't escape, so they show some aggression on the chain. And we see that again and again, the public safety benefits of getting dogs off chains and in a secure enclosure, their demeanor dramatically changes. So
that's wonderful.
Yeah, there's besides the animal welfare aspect of getting dogs off chain, there's a huge public safety benefit from that.
I always say that I've only been bitten by a dog twice. Once was, about 10 years ago, I was doing a story on Chihuahuas, and I went into the ladies' area and the little ankle biter came up and bit me on the ankle. Well, no harm done.
Sure.
And that's why they get away with it, because, isn't that cute?
Yeah.
The other time was when I was a kid, and I went up to a dog. It was a Boston Terrier. And it was visiting, the friends were visiting my mom and dad, and they brought their dog and tied it to a tree. And I went up to the dog tied to the tree, and it bit me.
Right, because they can't
you should
escape.
not go up. A dog that is, for those who are listening, do not ever approach a dog that's tied up, because you don't know what they're going to do.
Exactly.
And that fight or flight, they know they're tethered, and they don't know what you're going to do to them. Do not do not approach. I was a child. I never did tell my parents that, by the way, because you know what I knew? I knew they'd blame me. And it was my fault. So, and I knew that right away. I should not have gone up to the dog. Okay, they're listening and they want to help you. There's many ways they can help you and contact you. What do you need, Darcie?
Yeah, so we, always need good, dedicated volunteers. Our programs are growing all the time to try to meet the need. So we would love to have people reach out to help us. There are opportunities for those who maybe don't want to go out in the field. We have opportunities in our warehouse where people can help with preparing our supplies to help animals. Our pet food pantry is at our warehouse, so we have volunteers that can help in sort of that controlled environment.
Yeah, if your expertise is sitting behind a typewriter, or whether they're not typewriters anymore, a keyboard on a computer, then you can help that way as well. Maybe you're just not inclined to go out, because I do know that. I was telling you before we went on, I don't know if I could control myself because I'd be so upset that, well, look what you're doing to your dog. So you need people who can have a calm demeanor.
Exactly.
And the right tone and there to help. And you do have some wonderful stories. You'd say most of them are positive percentage-wise.
Yes. There's always people, and I understand that. You're approaching them in their...
telling them what to do.
Exactly. And so you have to put yourself in their position. How would I feel? But back to your previous comment that the volunteers who go out in the field, or staff for that matter, you definitely have to go in with the right mindset, a calm demeanor, treat people as you would want to be treated goes a long way. Just, very simple, human interactions that that are respectful and helpful. Make all the difference in the world for being able to establish a relationship, help the family and the dog. Our approach is also to help keep these animals in the home with better lives. We don't want them to go to the crowded shelters. Right. They're much happier with the people they know than a scary new shelter. So we just want to make sure that their lives are reach a basic standard of care where, they're having interactions with either other dogs or people and not living isolated lives.
I had a friend of mine tell me couple years ago, and I like this phrase, sometimes you realize an okay home is better than no home.
Yep.
And they don't know. I mean, the dog thinks, this is my home, this is great.
Exactly.
If you see a dog who's out with perhaps a person who's down on their luck and homeless, the dog is happy. Look, my person's with me all the time. So they're companion animals, and they want to be with their human.
Exactly. They're social beings.
Right.
So, we're even a life free and a fenced enclosure with other dogs, as long as the weather's not extreme, that's a good life.
Yep.
We don't expect all these dogs to be sleeping in beds with people, but there's a standard that none of us should fall below.
You mean Mabel shouldn't sleep in bed with me?
No, that's great. I don't think we can expect that for all the dogs in our community, but that's great for those who have it.
Oh yeah, she's a pip. She is. Now again, we mentioned this before, but how do people get in touch with you? Where do they go? They've listened. They go, Darcie, I went, before we get to that, hang on, I got one more. This podcast goes all over, it can go all over the world. Somebody wants to emulate your particular group. Can they get in touch with you for that too? Will you help
Sure.
There aren't many cities that do this around the world.
We're aware of a few other similar groups across the country. I do know there's a need.
Yeah.
We've heard from a lot of other counties that are hoping to start up similar groups
Right.
in their community. So anyone who'd like to get more information, they can reach us at info@FIDOindy.org, and then I will get that message, and I'd be glad to respond or give someone a call that kind of just want some ideas and suggestions for starting up a group. It's a lot of work, I will say.
Oh, yeah. But you want to hear from someone who's been there, done that, and successful at it. And you're going to go on forever? I mean, there's going to be a need,
right? Well, there's a need for sure. I do think Indianapolis is, things are getting better here. I think we partner with a lot of other groups who are also doing their part to make our community better for animals. So I do think things are getting better, but, we're not there yet. We have a ways to go.
Okay. Okay. Well, I commend you. I salute you. I'm very honored to have you here and tell us what you do, because we need that. We need you to help educate. And I love your positive attitude.
Well, thank you. And I do want to say we've got a lot of great staff and volunteers who we would not be where we are without all the people, within FIDO that, offer their time and their gifts, in a very generous way, in addition to our partners who, working together, that's the only way we can make things better.
I want to tell a little story about you. So I went to your warehouse the other day and we were chatting, and you had all the kitty cats in the building, and they all let me pet them. They were wonderful. So you like cats too, right?
Yeah, so we have 7 warehouse cats because we have a warehouse full of pet food, and they keep it rodent free. And then we do help a lot of cats in the community, because we have found over the years where there are outside dogs, there are lots of outside cats. So we partner with other groups, including Indie Neighborhood Cats. But when we see cats that need help, we're not going to turn our back. We're going to help them and and partner with our cat partners.
Whole story there. Where we need to help the feral cats out there in the colonies. And I love the one cat. What was his name when I went over to pet him? He turned his tummy up. He had a big tummy too.
Oh, that was Draper. Yes.
It was so cute. Okay, let's wrap it up here. And again, someone wants to get in touch with you, to help you, to find out more. How do they get a hold of Darcie Kurtz?
So they can reach me specifically through info@FIDOindy.org. Our website is FIDOindy.org. You can also see a lot of our stories and goings on through our Facebook page, through Indy FIDO.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I do invite you to go to their pages and go to their Facebook and look at the videos, and you'll smile and you'll want to help. Darcie Kurtz, FIDO, thank you so much. Friends of Indianapolis Dogs Outside, we need you, we love you, and thank you.
Thank you, Patty.
Okay. And that's it for Positively Patty Podcast. We'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day. This has been Positively Patty Podcast from Wish TV. I'm Patty Spidler, so be sure to follow and subscribe to this podcast. And then we invite you, of course, to check out new episodes every single week. You can also learn more at wishtv.com. And when you follow Wish TV on Facebook.
Discover more pet-friendly stories at petpalstv.com. And stay with Wish TV online at wishtv.com, and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast and discover more great podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.